Good morning, Tom.
Welcome back to the Radio Real Estate Show. This is an exciting day. Not only do I get to speak to you from My House Design Build Team, we also get to speak to a very special guest on the show this morning.
We're excited to have Brian Baeumler from HGTV with us as a guest today.
Good morning. Hey, listen, tell me, are you knee-deep in water back there in TO?
Well, it's a little wet. Things are drying out. The drains have certainly unclogged, but it's a real wet summer. If you've got a basement, you might want to get down there and have a look.
Well, I want to thank you for taking time. I know you're shooting your show on television, and taking time to talk to us is a very nice thing to do. Graeme, we've got some special things we want to bring up with Brian this morning.
We're excited to announce My House Design Build is an affiliate with Brian in their Baeumler Approved contractor program. And we are the only full design build renovation company in the Greater Vancouver area part of this program with Brian. So we're really excited about it. Maybe, Brian, you can share a little bit about what it means for us to be an approved contractor with you.
Definitely. It's great to have you guys on board as well. The Baeumler Approved program was set up as a third-party approval check and balance system. So what we essentially do is any trades that are signing up for the program, we essentially vet them. They're all legitimate, tax-paying, registered, licensed, insured companies that we require that insurance. So we have a separate operating procedure, a separate code of conduct. We do our own independent research looking, essentially approved contractors that we would work with and that I'm willing to put my name on. The great thing about that is we're not an association where the members actually approve of each other. This is third party. We've looked at people. We've done the background research. Of course, it's still up to the homeowner to do their own due diligence as far as personal relationship when it comes to hiring somebody. We're aligning ourselves and our members together with great suppliers, with legitimate contractors that are out there doing great work every day, putting the effort in. We want to get these people's names out. We have great associations with suppliers as well for discount programs. We essentially just want to surround ourselves, as any great contractor does, with other great trades and professionals. So we do our independent research on that and put our stamp on it for sure.
We're excited to be part of that and working alongside of you. And I know that when you've been out on the West Coast doing seminars, for example, recently at the BC Place Home Show here in February, sometimes people come up to you, obviously, and talk to you about the HGTV or what we call some of the reality shows. I know that when we face that question from a lot of people, they expect, how long does it take to renovate a kitchen? It takes about 30 minutes, right? And how long does it take to renovate a whole house? It takes about 60 minutes minus commercial time. So what are some of the differences that you find when you talk to people about true reality versus what we call reality TV?
The first thing I like to tell people is that when you're watching television, it doesn't matter what the show is about, whether it's about building or science or space, you're watching entertainment. I mean, the reason you're watching is to be entertained. Our goal in the shows, and let's call it edited, a heavily edited reality, is to entertain, but also to throw a couple of tips out that someone that has the basic knowledge, that's been through it or is going through it, can have a little bit of takeaway. But it's great to live your life with a team of editors. I live in the future. We're always ahead of schedule. We're under budget. Things happen in 21 minutes or less. But in the real world, it's just not like that. When we look at our budgets on television, when we look at our timing on television, it's completely out of whack. It's outside the window. It's unrealistic for the average homeowner to think that a bathroom or kitchen or basement can be finished in half an hour and that everything goes perfectly. The series Disaster DIY and Leave It to Brian are heavily edited realities. It's in a very controlled situation, and it's entertainment and formatted. When you watch House of Brian, that's a little more about, even when you own a construction company, things don't always show up on time. Things go way out of budget. Occasionally cut material too short and need to order some more. And you just can't control every aspect. It really is a little more about taming that beast and that animal. People have to be really careful watching television. Watch what you take away from it and temper that with a bit of common sense and a bit of knowledge as well.
Exactly. And so one of the reasons I'm excited about working with you is that you are a contractor. You're not just an entertainer or a TV personality. And I've heard you talk to people, for example, about budgets. What do you think some of the biggest pitfalls when people say, oh, renovations can really run amok financially? What do you think some of the pitfalls are when people plan?
We've done some of our own research, and the numbers that come back is that approximately 80% of respondents feel that their budget went 50% or more above what they planned on spending. When asked what the reasons are, a lot of people come back and say, well, it's changes or upgrades or contractors charging too much or whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, if 80% of our renos are going over budget, the reality is we're under budgeting. The days of paying $15 for a contractor or a handyman to come in and build you a house and expect a custom finish, they're just not there. This is the biggest investment that most people will make in their lives. They'll pay $100 an hour for someone to change their brakes, but on something that is valued 10 times or more than their car, they want to cheap out. So you really have to look at the size of your asset, spending money equivalent for somebody that is licensed, insured, qualified, experienced. As someone that's going to show up, you really do have to put proper value on that. And the biggest mistake people make going into renos is they have a little too much optimism. They think it's going to happen faster than it will, that it'll cost less than it will cost. And if they're doing it themselves, they certainly think it's going to be easier than it is.
Brian, let me ask you a question. When do you plan on coming out to the West Coast again?
My next trip out west, I think, is probably towards the end of the summer or into the fall. I lived out in Vancouver for 7 or 8 years. Years ago, I miss it every day. Always feel like I'm home when I get out to the West Coast. Anywhere west of Calgary, I feel like I'm at home. Love it out there, and the sooner I can get out there, the better.
All right, now I asked that question for selfish reasons. As Graeme knows, my studio needs some perking up here. And what I was thinking, when you come out to the coast, if I could get you to come down to the radio station and do some changes to the radio station, especially to my studio, and I tell you what I'll do. I'll leave it all up to you.
I have a great suggestion. Part of the biggest benefit, and one of the reasons we set up the Baeumler Approved program, is that you can have someone that works along the same lines as us. You can have that person that is a Baeumler Approved contractor in your studio to fix it up, and I think we've got someone on the phone right now.
Well, I know we got somebody. Graeme, thank you so much for being with us, and thank you for getting Brian on the line. It's been fun, you guys.
Thank you, Brian.
I'm going to invite both of you over to come and work on my studio, if that's okay.
That sounds good.
The barbecue's on. It's summertime, so we'll look forward to that, and I'll look forward to talking to you next week, Tom.
Will do, Graeme. Thank you so much for being with us. Brian, thank you so much, and we'll chat again soon.
Sounds good. Take care, guys.